Home Angels is all about simplifying the process from start to finish for homeowners who have suffered damage from water or mold in their home.
Mold, that's a pretty big issue with a homeowner in renovating after a storm or water damage.
It can be, yes. It can be. I mean, one of our big things is preventative maintenance and showing homeowners how to prevent the issues from even happening. But yes, I mean, we walked into some homes that, you know, there's severe issues. Some issues are small and people catch them pretty early on, and just minor stuff that we have to do to the home.
How did you get involved in starting your own business like this?
I started out actually as an insurance adjuster, and in the process of kind of learning about the whole industry, I, from that point on, kind of saw people's struggles with having to rebuild their house. And for me, you know, I'd always done construction since I was little, so I wanted to actually do the construction and rebuild these people's houses for them. So, and in doing that, my whole thought process and our mission as a company is to simplify from A to Z, to get the homeowner back in their home as quickly and efficiently as possible. And try to keep them involved in
at
everything.
a reasonable price too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the things that we're doing, we're working, you know, with the insurance company's prices. So efficiency.
Which you know how to do.
Yeah, and efficiency is where, you know, we can work at those prices and getting someone back in their home. I mean, we handle everything from the cleanup stage to design. We have a showroom where clients come in, we help them pick out materials, and then we actually rebuild the house.
Okay. Listen, you know, foreclosures, big deal down here in South Florida, a lot of them, and a lot of angry homeowners when they get foreclosed on. You really take their frustration and anger out on the house by ripping out the plumbing and stealing the appliances and all that. Do you handle a lot of renovations when something like that happens?
Yeah, we've definitely had our fair share of renovations with things like that. We've worked with investors who are buying these houses and then trying to flip them so they're walking into these big messes. So it's always something different when you walk into those houses. You never know what you're going to see or find. So it's pretty interesting.
I got you. Well, you know, hurricane season's here. A couple of weeks ago, I had Chris Farrell on, and he told us about the hurricanes that are coming and so forth and so on. But what do you tell a homeowner when a hurricane is approaching? When Chris Farrell says, hey, this thing is about a day or two away, and it's heading our way, what do you tell a homeowner to do?
Well, some of the big things, I mean, and there's a lot of great tips out there, but one of my biggest things, and seeing, you know, growing up in South Florida, you know, and watching people go through the process after the hurricanes hit, one of the biggest tips of advice that I can give is to try to meet a contractor, someone that can do the work ahead of the storm. Get to know that person, ask for references, because once the storm hits, it's craziness. You know, everybody's slammed with work, everybody's busy, and if you've already taken the chance
and we got the bad guys coming in town.
You got the bad guys coming in town. So, and for homeowners, you know, when your house has just been severely damaged, you're in a very vulnerable state. You know, you just want to get it fixed and stop, you know, lessen the damage and really mitigate the problem. So what I would always say is get to know somebody up front, get some references from them, have that set up before the storm actually hits.
Okay, one last question. The mold, big problem in South Florida. How can you combat mold?
I mean, the biggest thing is to prevent it from happening. I mean, mold is just like any other tree or grass on the ground. There's a couple of things that it needs. It needs a food source. It needs the right climate, which in Florida we always have those two things. So really the only thing that you can eliminate is the moisture. And you have to get the dampness out of the building materials as quickly as possible. And in doing that, mold can't grow. It can't grow without water. Okay. So that's the biggest thing, and I always recommend for all homeowners to go out, just buy a little moisture meter. You can get one for like $25–30, and you can always put it in your drywall, because that's typically where mold starts to form first.
You know, even if it looks dry, you know, I've found out even if it looks dry, there's moisture in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, drywall is like a sponge, so it'll soak up that water and it'll hold it. So I always recommend people to get a moisture meter, because that'll tell you truthfully how much moisture's in it. And then if it's something, you know, you think you can handle or remove the drywall, you can always do that. Or you can call a company if it's a lot of moisture, to bring in dehumidifiers to really dry out the property so you don't have, you know, a bigger issue down the road.
All righty, Nick Partington, thanks for being here with all
absolutely.
handy tips. Let's hope we don't have a hurricane this year, and God bless you, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, David.
All righty, Nick. And stay with us. We'll return right after these words.